And welcome back to part 3 of What If Naruto Was on Team Guy. We're now into the tuning exam preliminary matches. Last time, I was able to work around the fact that those damn Rain Ninjas had those very annoying clones, but because Lee training under Guy would have probably made him a lot more adept at targeting opponents, he most likely would have found them, probably using Sasuke and Sakura as a distraction, and then knocked him out, and they still made it. Naruto, meanwhile, Team Guy has been there for a while, so Naruto is actually very fully rested, saving Neji and Tenten, and the tuning exams are getting underway. By the by, I do think Kabuto did find them and help them out. Unlike in the original, they weren't stupid enough to try to look at the scroll, so there's that. And then obviously Kabuto surrenders. Naruto kind of looks on. She's like, huh. As they saw, they get Sasuke. All the teams are like, Sasuke, yeah, it looks like you made it. It's like, oh, whatever, dweeb. Just hope you're ready. Just hope you're ready to go toe to toe. So bring it on. It's like, all right, that's enough, and the exams will begin. Now I'm only going to focus on Team 7 and Team 9's fights because that just makes sense. Nothing's changed here for that to matter at all. And keep in mind too, just to go over it real quick, Sasuke and Sakura are one of the advantages they've had with Lee is that Kakashi's had to stress physical training with them in order to balance out Lee's just absurd physicality being on the team. Also, I should note that Kakashi's also helped Lee train against someone with a Sharingan, both with Sasuke and probably with himself as well. He's maybe also tried to help him think out of the box and try not to be a complete mini guy, but that's... We're actually going to get to a little bit of issues between the two senseis, and I'll throw a little conundrum out in a little while. So yes, Sasuke and Sakura are stronger here than in the original. Not by like chakra measures or what they know knowledge is, but just physically they're much more capable. So Sasuke would have an easier time beating Yori. I believe that was his name. So that fight takes place all well and good. Now if I remember correctly, Sakura's fight came next in the order. Then it was Tenten, then it was Naruto, then it was Neji, and then it was Lee, obviously. So Sakura and Ito's fight happens, and Naruto's cheering him on. He's like, come on, you go, Sakura! And Sakura's like, oh, whatever, thanks. Like, Sakura, you can do it! It's like, oh, thanks, Lee. And her and Ito are squaring off, and they're getting ready to fight, all that. Now, we need to remind ourselves, Sakura didn't have her glow up here. She didn't have that moment to really branch out on her own. Is that going to hinder her in this fight? Is it going to hinder her down the road? Yeah, a little bit. Is it going to hinder her in this fight? I get the impression no, believe it or not, because of what that fight really was between the two of them, Ino versus Sakura. It was them kind of putting everything out to bear. She's probably still feels a little inadequate definitely inadequate next to Lee and Sasuke, but because Lee was already capable of helping him, she didn't have to. What's the best phrasing here? She didn't have to try harder. She didn't have that feeling yet of being completely useless. And because she is stronger here, I'm not sure we will get that because she is physically stronger. In fact, one thing Kakashi has probably trained her as their fight suddenly starts going down. Because, as someone pointed out, Sarada copied her mom's physical strength copying technique, basically the technique that Tsunade taught Sakura, and then obviously Sarada picked up from Sakura. Is that she just apparently copied it by copying the way the chakra worked in the muscles of her arm. I will, unless someone corrects me on that, because that's the layman version of how it was more in-depth described than that, but that was the layman version of it. Unless someone corrects me on that, that's what I'm going with. So, I imagine because Kakashi does have the Sharingan, he's probably seen Tsunade in action once or twice. And he, at minimum, knows Sakura has great chakra control. He's probably teaching her let's be honest, a bastardized version of the technique. It would take Tsunade to properly train her, so Sakura's not going to be able to just shatter the ground or anything like that, like she can do in Shippuden or beyond. But to amp her strength 2 or 3 times more than her normal strength, or already greater physical strength than in the original, that's doable, I think. It's something where she can't manage it, because that kind of fine-tuned chakra control, I think, is it's not beyond her, but for her to do it for an extended period of time is tiring on her. So at first, Sakura and her and Ino are not, obviously they're not going toe-to-toe, and Naruto and Lee are actually a little surprised by it's like, I would have thought Sakura would have been better than this. I mean, she had the best grades in the academy. Yes, it's true. Sakura should be better than this. She has learned quite a bit. And to be fair, Sakura's still outmatching, in terms of physicality. That's a given. Like, she actually is hitting harder just in general. And he is notices like, her hits, those hits actually hurt. It's like, you? And then she's unfortunate, and training with Lee has also upped her actual ability to fight. But again, these guys are just kind of, they're baby hitting. They're soft touching. And eventually Sakura actually lands a good shot, because Ino is kind of mocking her. Not mocking her, but kind of getting under her skin a little bit. She has a good shot, and Sakura just says, I'm not going to fight over Sasuke anymore. I'm here to prove that I am a real ninja. And she has the memory of the time with her. She puts it on there. It's like, fine, you want to go? Fine. And they go toe to toe again. Only this time, Sakura using substitution, combination of the clone jutsu. And this time, she lands a shot, and Ino can feel, like, when she blocks this time, she can actually feel her arm cracking a little bit. Like, Sakura nearly breaks the arm. It's injured, and it's probably fractured a little bit. She's like, what the hell? And then Sakura's like, and she has to, like, dodge it. It's like, what the hell? How's she? And Sakura actually hits the wall instead, and she manages to put her fist into the wall. It's like, what the hell? How'd you get this good? It's like, if there's one thing I have more than anyone else, even you, pig, it's chakra control. And Kakashi has been helping me apply that chakra control. And so, Ino just decides, I'm going to get you with the mind transfer jutsu. However, she also, I think, decides to cut her hair. I think she does decide to cut her hair here. Sakura hasn't done the hair cutting thing here. I don't think that's she has not done that, but I do think Ino does it just to kind of show, it's like, I don't need this. I don't need you. I don't need this or anything like that. And I think she does still ultimately catch Sakura. Now, Lee and Naruto still kind of cheering her, because Naruto's still going to root for her, I think helps get her out of the mental spot she was in with Ino. But the big difference here is that when they go for their final shot, Sakura lands a harder hit than Ino does. Like, she's, even without a lot of chakra left, she's physically stronger. And therefore, boom, and has been trained with Lee, so she can take a hit better now. And so Ino just pop goes down. And that's the game. Sakura Haruno is declared the winner. And I beat her. I beat Ino. Oh, God. And, Lisa is there's like, you did well, my beautiful cherry blossom. And she's kind of about past that. She hears that. Normally, she's kind of with his flirting. But here, she knows he's not being creepy. He means it as a genuine compliment and endearing term. And so, ultimately, they wake up. It's like, I lost. I can't believe I won. Good job, Sakura. Right on. And Tenten even gets props like, it didn't start out so good, but definitely props to you guys for finally pulling out all the stops. And so the next matches happen, and then Tenten goes up. And unfortunately, Tenten, even with some extra training, maybe learning some tricks through like Naruto, maybe she even knows how to do at least one shadow clone. I mean, when you think about it, if both shadow clones have scrolls or seals or whatever, and they both are able to summon kunai, granted, some of the weapons would poof out of existence because they're clone weapons, but in theory, we've seen the Naruto do that with Shuriken before, so nothing says that couldn't happen here. Unfortunately, it's not a good matchup for her. And now, once she is beaten and, she falls flat on Tenten's fan, Tenten's about to toss her. I do think it's Naruto who goes to catch her, but Lee's the one who actually goes and does the kick. Because, again, this was Tenten's team, this was Lee's team initially, and he grew to know these people and like these people very much. They're his friends to him still. But Naruto, if Lee hadn't done it, Naruto would have. He even probably says that. He said so. It's like, yeah, and Lee just even says, you didn't have to do that. It's like, please, what are you gonna do? And Naruto's like, Lee. It's like, Lee, and Naruto helps the medics put Tenten on his chest. Lee, let it go right now, Lee. Naruto's learned to temper himself a little bit, but he's still Naruto, so he's just staring her down. It's like, oh, what's wrong, Squirt? You want to try me? And then he just kind of gives her a look, and a little bit of the fox comes out there. Now, keep in mind, again, I keep saying keep in mind, Naruto hasn't unleashed the fox chakra. He hasn't had the seal loosen in any way right now. But I could see this being not Nine-Tails chakra coming out, but a little bit of the fox kind of ekes out just a little bit, like the killing intent of the fox. It's like ekes out. He just gives her a look like, you are lucky. You've already fought. Because you do not want to fight me right now. It's like, that's my friend. That's my teammate. That's my friend. I don't appreciate how you did that to her. And Tamari is like freaks out a little bit because she recognizes that feeling. Like that's how Gaara is. And Conqueror's like, and Naruto's just no, Naruto, it's all right. Or actually, maybe even Guy steps in and says, "Oh, it's all right, Naruto. Tenten will be fine. Most of her wounds are simply physical cuts and bruises. She'll be fine. Let's go up. I'm sure your match will be coming soon." You're right, Kai Sensei. Sorry. And Tamari's just like, and she gets back up there, and Conqueror's like, "You feel that?" It's like, "Yeah, that felt like." And they look at Gaara, who's suddenly like, what the hell? Meanwhile, we get to one of the great events of this part, Naruto versus Kiba. And say, we got the run. All right. And Naruto's just looking. I was like, perfect. And Neji and Lee's like, good luck, Naruto. He's like, thanks, Lee. Yes, I hope you don't disappoint. You just worry about your own match. And Sakura immediately, cheers him on a little bit. It's like, thanks, all right, Naruto, come on. It's like, really, you're cheering for Naruto, Sakura? That's interesting. Well, I mean, Naruto was one of the people I think helped get me out of Ino's trick. If it wasn't for him, I would have lost. And so everyone's like, yeah, Naruto just bad luck for the kid. And everyone, Shikamaru says that. I remember that. And it's like, you ready? And Naruto's just looking. I was like, sorry about this, Kiba. You're the one I'm going to have to fight to vent out what happened with Tenten. Whatever. You ready? All beast ninja beast mimicry. All force jutsu. And he just comes in, and Naruto immediately gets into a position, just and he not just like taps him, he just makes him hit the wall. And everyone's like, what? And it's like, come on, Kiba, you're gonna have to do better than that. I thought you were going to teach me a lesson. And he's like, you? He just starts coming in. Naruto's just easily kind of, even though Naruto knows he's fast, but Lee's faster. Hell, Neji's faster than this. Lee's faster too. And then Naruto just starts boom, 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 just hitting him, and just like gut checks him with his kick. It's like, you little, all right, Akamaru, let's go. And it's like, Fango is right. Beast Mega or Man Clone Jutsu. Bang over Fang. And Naruto's like, whoa. And now Naruto's like, I gotta stop saying like. Now Naruto's up in the air a little bit, dodging. And he's basically has to block with his, because he's also wearing now bandages. But as he blocks his bandages, some people notice that there's sparks coming off of his arms. And everyone's looking on, commenting that this is Naruto. How's he gotten this strong? Unbelievable. But Kiba's overwhelming him. This isn't good. No, it's different. For some reason, and I'd say it's, let's say Ino who points out the sparks. Like, wait, what's going on with his arm? And Lee notices. Wait, Guy Sensei, are those? You were right, Lee. It was important that I didn't treat him any different than I would treat you. He has a natural talent for taijutsu, just like you do. But I didn't want to make it exactly the same. Naruto's clever and crafty, and he's because he's able to use the shadow cone, he's able to apply the taijutsu in a much different way than you can. So I had to account for that as well. He's even developed a special technique, a variation on the lotus. A variation on the lotus? Yes, but unfortunately, every time he tried to use it, the bandages would break. So I had to give him a different option. I don't actually remember the name of the steel bandages that you would use, but they're metal bandages. It's like a metal infused cloth, so they're far more durable, and therefore they can also take some more hits. And if Naruto just is a punch out, it hurts more, at least for a little bit. And so Naruto basically makes clones, just jumps up, uses just the gate opening, and all of a sudden just the bandages come out, and something And uses Kiba's rotation against it as they just binds it. And Kiba and Akamaru are kind of tied up. It's like, what the? Uzumaki Lotus! Boom! And they both basically just, boom, put Kiba and Akamaru into the ground. Now, Naruto is keen not to actually use the true primary Lotus. He's using a variation, which is really just him using the gate of opening and landing a really strong hit. Now, where is Naruto's ability to use the gates at this point? I think he can go up to the third gate right now. I do think he can do that. And therefore, he can use a very basic version, the most basic version of the Hidden Lotus. Whereas we know for a fact that Lee can use 5 gates, which does beg the question, when do we think he learned the 5th gate, up to the 5th gate? We know that it's over the year, Guy trained him intensely, but then you got to deal with, I want to say it's about 6 months worth of time between the next graduation with, Naruto and his class and the Chunin exams. How much did he learn at that point? And the fact, too, that he is still partially training with Guy Sensei when he can. So I still say it's fair to say Lee can do the 5th gate. Now, Naruto is like, yeah, woo! And everyone's cheering. He's like, well done. And then the next match happens, and it's Neji and Hinata. And obviously Neji starts doing a spiel about fate, destiny, Hyuga clan. And unlike before, Naruto knows what the Byakugan is now. So he's aware that they're related. Not brother and sister, mind you, but, cousins. And still, once again, Naruto is getting pissed off with Neji's words. And finally, he just says, like, oh, will you just shut up, Neji? God, fate this, fate that. No, you don't get to tell anyone, me, Lee, or Hinata who they get to be. Go on, Hinata, show Neji he's wrong. And I think, again, this perks Hinata up. It's also important to note that because he's on the same team with Neji, this, I think, is even emboldens Hinata even more because he understands how Neji kind of is. Now, I don't think, though, that Neji has revealed his backstory yet. I don't think that. I don't think he has talked about what's happened yet. That I'm saving probably for their fight. Because, yes, it's still going to be this. Even though Sakura is here in the finals, I'm going to keep it the same fights just to be safe for right now. But ultimately, Hinata and Neji fight. Naruto's still egging her on. And, kind of egging her on a little bit. Ultimately, she still loses and gets hurt pretty bad. Naruto does, swears like, I promise. And he just looks at Neji. It's like, and he even kind of stares down and is like, what was the point of this, Neji? You were planning to kill her, weren't you? So you can't prove a thing, Naruto. I told you, a failure will always be a failure. And then basically just, there's nothing you can change. And he just basically vows to avenge Hinata. Finally, you have Lee and Gaara's fight. And unfortunately for Lee, this is going to go about the same. But the one catch in the story here is, is he listening to Kakashi or Guy? Because Kakashi has probably been made aware of what Lee is capable of doing. And so, in the fight, Kakashi and Lee, I think Kakashi and Guy probably do like a little co-senseiing here, and they both agree, Prime Lotus is fine, go ahead, use it. It's like, and Kakashi's basically just urging he should probably give up now. There's no way he says, Kakashi, you don't seem to understand, you don't understand Lee at all. You're a good teacher, Kakashi, no doubt about it. Is he? But whatever. But that boy has something to prove, after all. It's like, what do you mean? And what do you mean? Sakura says, and it's like, the lotus, what was it? The lotus of the hidden leaf village blooms twice. And that's when Kakashi goes, Guy, you didn't. Yes, Kakashi, I did. That boy can open the 8 inner gates. It's like, yes. It's like, well, all of that. It's like, and then he looks at Naruto. It's like, well, you haven't been doing that with Naruto. It's like, I have. Perhaps I have. Naruto's also quite impressive indeed. They both have something to prove, and I aim to help them do it. You son of all the irresponsible. But it's like, Lee, you're not to do it. Use that to, and like Kakashi's trying to warn him not to do it. as his sensei, he's trying to warn, like, don't do it. Just give up. There's like, he's like, Lee. He's like, you want to prove. And Lee looks at the guy sensei, and in this moment, he goes against his sensei, his actual sensei now, and he agrees with what Guy Sensei says. I will not lose this. I only want to use this fight. Gate of Fate, open! And they're all watching, and Naruto's looking like, whoa. It's like, and finally crashes down, and Gaara's like, he's still, that's see, now you have to look forward to, Neji. And so Naruto's amazed, like, so this is what we're aiming for. But then the news about, his muscles, Kakashi even says his muscles are tearing themselves apart. Naruto here's like, oh man, this power comes with a really hefty cost. And obviously then Gaara, smashes Lee's arm and leg. And I think it is my Guy who steps in. Like, Kakashi's about to, but Guy steps in. And then obviously Lee stands up. And it's like, Lee, and Kakashi says, Lee, that's enough. It's, and Lee, you don't have to. Oh, Lee, what have I done? And he's out cold. Nothing but keeping up but sheer willpower. And, Gaara forfeits. Lee's put on the stretcher. Naruto goes to see Lee. And it's bad, and they tell him how bad it is. Now, I don't think Naruto has to blow up on Lee like he does in the original, but I think he's just kind of shooken by what's happened, just like Guy is. And so there's mourning on both sides. Like, Guy Sensei, Lee is like, Lee, I'm sorry. This is all my fault. Now, this raises an interesting question. Who's at fault in this scenario? Is it Guy or is it Kakashi? Because Lee is Kakashi's student right now, but he was Guy's student prior. And Lee decided to disobey his sensei and listen to his former sensei. The question comes down to who's culpable here, and I think that answer ultimately comes down to Guy. And the reason for it is even Guy admitted he made a mistake here. Guy realized he really effed up because he just destroyed most of his chances of being a ninja. And so, ultimately, I would say, Guy's probably the one who's more at fault here, just because Lee has made himself so attached. And I think there's going to be a little bit of, he's going to get some pushback from the Hokage from this. Like, he's not going to get away from this. Because it'd be one thing, because I don't think he got an earful from the Hokage in the original. This is his student. This is different. Lee was following the instructions of a different sensei and ignoring his other sensei. So, yeah. The matches are called. Naruto and Neji are staring each other down like, Like, they've been able to work together and generally get along. Naruto was even coming close to calling him a friend. But then the Hinata shit just is like, no, I gotta beat the hell out of you. And I'll see you in a month. So, unlike in the original where he's looking for Kakashi to train him, he's looking for Guy to train him. Sorry, I gotta get my ear to pop here. Nope. That's really, oh god. It's like if you get out of the shower, or just, it's like my ear just won't pop for some reason. The pressure's just in there. Anyway, I'm sure I'll pop eventually. I just gotta, because if you've ever had that ear popping, the pressure in your ear, it means my voice sounds muffled to me, so I gotta be careful not to raise my voice too much. Okay, it's a little better. I'll figure it out in a little bit. Anyway, so Naruto eventually goes and finds Guy, and Lee's in surgery, and Guy, honestly, Naruto even waits. Like, he waits with Guy Sensei, because Lee's his friend too. Like, Lee's a good friend for him, or to him. And so they wait, and eventually they say he'll be, and they mentioned that, his arm and leg, he's never really going to be able to train again. He's not going to be a ninja. And they're just kind of mourning this. And Guy and I think maybe Lee becomes coherent. For like, and he was like, Naruto. Guy said to Lee is like, hey Lee, are you okay? I'm sorry, I lost. Like, no, it's all right, man. That guy was super strong. I was like, Lee, it's my fault. I shouldn't have. No, Guy Sensei, Naruto, who are you fighting in the finals? And Naruto just, fighting Neji. I was like, Neji, he's stronger than either of us, Naruto. You know that. It's not going to be likely you could beat him with your skills as they are, even with as powerful as you are. You'll have to just train harder. Guy Sensei, train him, no matter what. So you need to go now. He needs to rest. I'll be back here at least for a little while every day, Lee, until you're awake. But then he looks at Naruto and he wipes the tears from his eye. Lee's right. I can't sit here and let you waste your time. Let you waste your training. We need to improve you, Naruto. Make you faster, stronger, tougher. That's right. For this now, luckily Neji told me that him and Tenten would be helping. Tenten would be helping him with his training this month. So I'll be helping you this month to beat Neji. I mean, are you? Really? But, I mean, isn't he your student too? Don't you want to succeed? Of course I want him to succeed. But I'll admit, Neji's mentality needs a course altering and very quickly. Otherwise, I don't know if he'll be able to make it as a ninja down the road. And he explains a little bit. There was an incident back when he was young. And they maybe go for lunch and he explains it. Unfortunately, it jaded his whole outlook on life. It's not my place to tell the whole story. But if you get a chance in combat, when you meet him, perhaps you can finally get him to admit it. There's something special about you, Naruto. You're able to bring out the best in people. That's why I'll leave it to you to save Neji's soul. And Naruto's looking at his balls like, right, guys. But for now, in order to do that, we're going to have to train you up. And so they go to training ground 9. And it's like, now, so what are we going to do? I mean, I could try to work on my speed, strength, and accuracy. Even opening maybe learning to open the next gate might be it's probably on the docket. But no, we need to increase your arsenal. We need to increase your ability to take Neji's hits. And that, in essence, we need to increase your defense. And there's only one person I know who knows more about defense than anyone. And he bites his thumb. Summoning Jutsu! Boom! And he summons, and I gotta get the name right. I think it's Ningame. That's the name of the tortoise. Ningame, yes. And it's like, Jiraiya. Jiraiya. I'm so used to Jiraiya being here. Guy, what are you doing? What's all this? Ningame, I think I finally found it. The successor to me of the tortoise summoning contract. What? It should be noted, I do think that because we know Lee has met Ningame at least once. Naruto's probably also met Ningame. It's like, whoa, wait, what do you mean? It's like, oh, not young Naruto, is it? And he just kind of walks over. Are you sure about this? I'm not sure he's suited for the turtle style. Ha! I say, no, but perhaps not fully suited. No, but Naruto is the conglomeration. Is the conglomeration of all of our efforts as teachers. The turtle style mixed with a strong fist, mixed with his own Uzumaki mixed with his own creativity and versatility. Now think about that as a combo. You got a point. Plus, the turtles are quite versatile in their own right. The turtles and tortoises. I'm going to say turtles, but it's a tortoise contract, but there's going to be at least some turtles in there too. Say, very well, Naruto. I ask you, I look you dead in the eye and ask you, would you want to be this next summoner of the tortoise summoning contract? A tortoise is like, yes, sir. And it's like, very well then. And he just puts out the scroll. Then, guys, I remember Sensei talking about this. Okay, so I sign my name in blood. Then I do this. All right, now try to summon something. All right, and he focuses. Now, luckily, even though summonings do take a decent amount of chakra, I think it also depends on the summon. Like, for example, Kakashi's ninja dogs probably aren't that high level of a chakra summon. But we know something like Gamabunta or a lot of the toads are. Even Gamakichi is a bit of a high level summoning, but the toads are very versatile. I think the tortoises probably are definitely below the toads in terms of how much it takes to summon them, unless you're getting a really big toad or turtle. But I think they do require a hefty amount of chakra. Luckily, Naruto's still got a lot of chakra, and it's just been increasing. And Naruto would also learn, as he's training with the summoning contract, by opening the gate, he's opening his body's limiters, using his body's full chakra, he can actually use it more effectively that way. And through training, it's kind of a chakra control exercise. But you now are seen. I have now made him a summoner of the tortoise contract. So apart from the standard physicality, what are we going to do? Because we actually only know one canon tortoise that's a part of that summoning contract, and that is Ningame. I believe Gebi, the giant island turtle, is not a summoning animal. It's not part of that contract as far as I know. There is a messenger tortoise in the anime, so I guess I can include that too. But it's things like this where we can finally get into more fanfic, because a lot of people sometimes want me to do fanfic, and I just generally don't go that route unless the what if can lend itself to it. this is a scenario where I can lend itself to it, because I can pull any turtle I want, any tortoise I want from fiction, and claim it's a summoning. And warp it to the Naruto world, obviously. Just wait until the day, and it's on the list, that I get to the dragon summoning contract for Naruto. I'm going to have a field freaking day with that one. But until then, so basically, Naruto, he starts summoning some turtles, and he realizes very quickly that some of the turtles are very versatile. For example, there's a water turtle named Caracasta. I told you I'm pulling this shit from everywhere. And honestly, he does look like a Naruto. Let's be honest, he looks like a Naruto summon. A water turtle, he'd be able to use earth and water jutsu. There's also happens to be a wind turtle named Terra Spin. Apparently a little bit different, like Terra, or Kaze. I think it'd be more like Terakaze, I think that would work better. That's a Ben 10 alien, if you don't know, who's actually capable of using wind jutsu. And Naruto actually is able to learn the Great Breakthrough. And then, during like 2 weeks, Naruto's been able to up his physicality, get his speed up even higher. But he's like, I don't know if it's going to be good enough for Neji. I know. That's why I saved the best for, we saved the next one. Now focus your chakra and think this name. Master Oogway. And there comes Master Oogway, this elder martial arts turtle. I was like, yeah, oh, so this is the young one who's said to have been the new holder of our contract. It's a pleasure to meet you, Naruto. This old, it's nice to meet you too. This old guy? Seems you underestimate me by my age. I would not blame you. I am quite old. Make no mistake, Naruto. Master Oogway may be among the strongest of the tortoises, save for maybe a couple of huge boss summons in terms of sheer power. I may not have the chakra reserves or the power I used to at some of the main true summons, or the large summons, but I more than make up for it. It's like, so what can you teach you? Guy told me, I've been told you're working on your defenses. How's that going? I managed to at least get the wind palm down, and even managed to try to get the Great Breakthrough, but Kaze Spin, Terakaze, it was a little difficult. Indeed, no, but it seems you have a natural affinity for wind, and so do I. It's like, really? So I'm going to help you here. First and foremost, for defensive, and he teaches, why don't you try me? And Naruto tries coming at him, and Naruto is faster than Oogway, sure, although Oogway is surprisingly fast. But what he does is he actually just summons wind chakra in his palm, like, basically just flips Naruto like Bagua style, basically. And Naruto's like, whoa! It's like, whoa, indeed. While we can't communicate the same way as someone like the toads do, that does not mean we are incapable of using the natural chakra in the world to our advantages. Natural chakra? A lesson for another time. And so then, shall we begin your training? And so Naruto begins his training with Oogway. And because he's got natural wind, and because he's a lot less rigid than someone like Lee or Guy is, he's actually able to get this sort of, what do you call it? Reverse wind shot. So basically, a wind rebound, if you will. Like wind style wind rebound, or Kaze rebound, or something like that. And so, and basically just kind of blows the attack back. But the other thing Naruto has now gained is shells. Specifically a shell armor. That would be, I think, a signature move of the Turtle Clan. That for those who, they're able to like impart chakra into their shells to toughen it up. I think the idea is you're able to impart chakra into your skin. And especially if you have hair on your arm, which hair and shell are both, I believe, made of creatine, so the same substance, just one's a lot denser than the other in terms of how it's presented. Basically kind of hardens, it can also harden and thicken up the hair on your arm temporarily, and in essence give Naruto kind of a pseudo suit of armor. Naruto is smart enough to not keep his joints locked up though, although if he needs to, he could basically just do like a solid defense, be like, you're not getting through here! So he can do that. So that's what most of this all comes down to, and I don't know if Jiraiya hadn't met Naruto at the hot springs, if he'd go out of his way to look for Naruto. That's the big thing here. I don't know if he would have done that. He even said, I wasn't here for training or anything like that, or for Orochimaru. I was just here for research for my next book. And honestly, I believe him. So, yeah, he's basically trained, and I was like, he's passing. It's still rough, still needs much time for mastering, but it'll get the job done. It's like, thank you, Oogway. Thank you, Master Oogway. You're very welcome, my boy. You ought to come by Turtle Island sometime. And that's where, we'll say that's where the tortoises live. And so, and obviously him Naruto and Guy, I think, go and meet Lee. Now, does Shikamaru step in to stop Lee? Stop Gaara? I would have to believe he does. And yeah, maybe Naruto goes on ahead and catches up, and Gaara threatens him. Gaara threatens him, and Naruto knows he has a monster inside of him. Gaara does too, and they're both kind of squaring each other off here, but Naruto's a little taken back. Guy also steps in and says, "That's enough there. Nah, that's enough. Or should I have someone called?" He's like, "I'll kill you later." Walks off. And so, hey, and Lee's sitting there. And Naruto does come. He's like, man, Kakashi, I mean, he sees the flower, so he knows at least Sakura's probably been here. But, like, Kakashi Sensei, I know he's got to try to train Sasuke, but man, he hasn't come to visit once. That's low. I was like, I can't say I'm happy about it either, but he does have to prioritize Sasuke, at least at this time. I can let it pass for right now. Besides, I can't really speak much. I can't talk bad about Kakashi's actions. After all, I'm partly the reason Lee's in this mess. The guy Sensei, yeah, I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, Naruto, but we both know it's true. So, And so Naruto it's the night before. Naruto is, just thinking, am I going to be able to do it? And then Hinata comes. Naruto basically just talks about how, Neji was a bit of a pain in the ass, but it was that bad. But what he did to you, man, and that wasn't great. It's like, as with all my improvement, I'm not sure if I'll be able to beat him. And say, I know you can. I watched you forever, and you always failed, but you were a proud failure. And so, and now look where you got. Look how strong you've gotten. I know you'll get even stronger. And Naruto's like, thanks, Hinata. I always found people like you weird, but I kind of like people like you. And so, he goes off, and the day of the Chunin exams happens, and Neji and Naruto face off. That's where we'll leave part 3 for right now. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.